Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, today we're diving into a living systems analysis of the 2026 FIFA World Cup. We're skipping right past the daily scores and taking a really elevated cinematic look at the tournament as this massive global structural event. And I should mention right up front, this overview is proudly presented by Sir IFC PFP. It's a premium one-of-one NFT collection by Sir.ai, and it really serves as the definitive phygital record of the entire global soccer summer. Okay, let's dive into this. For a whole month, you're going to have sports desks and analysts everywhere obsessing over just one thing: who's going to win the 2026 World Cup? But honestly, for serious art collectors, cultural historians, and, well, anyone watching the broader systems at play here, that's actually the wrong question. Think about it. When an event generates this much ephemeral noise, literally thousands of images, millions of posts, just endless derivative content, scarcity doesn't come from visibility. Scarcity comes from proof. So the ultimate question we really need to be asking isn't who wins, but what survives the final whistle.
Moving into Section 1, the synchronized cultural clock.
To really answer that question of what survives, we have to look at the 2026 tournament not just as a sporting event, but as literally the most visible form of total popular art on Earth. I mean, just pause and consider the sheer scale of this for a second. 5 billion people. That's the estimated number of viewers who are going to engage with the tournament. So for 39 days, a massive, massive portion of the human race enters into one synchronized cultural clock. You've got billions of people all watching the exact same competition, reacting to the same images, and remembering the exact same moments. And a scare like that, it produces an absolutely extraordinary volume of global memory. Mass attention of that magnitude always creates immense cultural pressure. And this is where it gets really fascinating, because all that cultural pressure is processed through what's essentially a funnel of permanence. We start out with the cloud. That's the 48 nations entering this massive field of possibility. At this stage, it's totally unresolved, it's distributed, and it is very much alive. But as the tournament actually plays out, it condenses, block by block, into the chain. That's the narrowing architecture of consequence. And then finally, all of that momentum focuses right down into the clock. It's 48 sweeping possibilities condensing down into one single permanent timestamp. Which brings us to Section 2, from chaos to clock. Now, what's really interesting about mapping the entire 48-team system is that it reveals this unfolding field of 104 matches. And let's be clear, this isn't just a schedule. It's a beautifully ruthless mechanism that's literally designed to collapse abundance. We're tracing this massive collapse from a huge multinational matrix all the way down to a single permanent record that's going to be set on July 19th at the final in New York, New Jersey Stadium. And the way this progresses is entirely systemic. Step 1 is the group stage. Think of it as a triangular matrix made up of 12 groups of 4. This is that abundance phase we talked about, the cloud. But then we hit step 2, the knockout bracket. And this is a pure binary cascade. You either advance or you exit. You remain or you completely disappear. Every single match from the round of 32 onward forces a cut that hardens the whole structure. It's basically an algorithm playing out on grass, turning pure probability into a rigid sequence. And that leads us to Section 3, reading the global system. So how do we actually read this? Well, we use a really methodical 4-lens approach to track exactly how all that global belief converts into a concrete result across that 39-day window. First up, the forecast models it. It uses deep historical data and heavy analytics. Second, the prediction reads it, relying on expert analysis and situational logic. Third, the market prices it, literally weighing the capital of billions of expectations. And finally, the fourth lens, Foresight, feels it. This one picks up on the embodied emotional momentum of the teams. And all 4 of these lenses are intensely focused on the exact same window of time. Now, if we look closely at that market lens right now, which, basically operates as a live public ledger of expectation, we see a pretty fascinating snapshot. The prediction markets are showing a statistical dead heat right at the top. We've got France sitting at roughly 17%, Spain is right there breathing down their necks at 16%, and England is holding a clear third at near 11.4%. So the top of the field is just incredibly tight. But and here is the absolutely crucial takeaway for our explainer today. Even with over $1 billion in trading volume expressing all this daily expectation, that data still cannot answer the collector's ultimate question. Sure, it tells us what people believe is going to happen, but it does not give us the actual artifact of what survives. Let's move to Section 4, the Phygital Collectible Record. So if the tournament itself is ephemeral noise, Sir IFC PFP by Sir.ai is the eternal artifact. To capture something this massive, the collection maps the beautiful game through pure geometry, rhythm, fashion, color, and collective emotion. Instead of just relying on literal flags or anatomical realism, it treats a footballing nation as an entire visual system. Let's move to and see how this builds, because these masterworks replace anatomical realism with pure constructivist motion. You've got the DR Congo leopard spot right alongside the Cape Verde shark jaw. And these are joining a really actively expanding collection, which actually includes the recently released piece number 16, Saudi Arabia Desert Agave. It captures the sheer visual force of the athletes as pure authored art, and it's all amplified by AI under a directing intelligence protocol. And here is where the collection truly innovates for the serious art and memorabilia collector. It operates on what we call the Phygital loop. It's a really cool concept. On one side, you have the digital one-of-one NFT, securely recorded on the blockchain to establish absolute authorship, sequence, and provenance. And on the other side, every primary acquisition unlocks a tangible, premium physical trading card, printed on this heavy, gorgeous 38-point velvet finish stock. The digital metadata and the physical card don't compete with each other. They actually reinforce each other as two permanent states of one single cultural piece. Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, What Survives the Whistle? So the crucial point is this. The 2026 World Cup is going to manufacture cultural noise every single day. But those ephemeral stadium moments, they fade. They always do. But you have the opportunity right now to actively secure a piece of the cultural archive that actually survives it. The Sir IFC PFP collection features 53 total works. That's 48 national team masterworks plus 5 exclusive bonus editions. And the very first pieces are live right now on the OpenSea marketplace. What's really great about this is that OpenSea features a make an offer function. So you don't have to wait around. You can propose your own price on a specific one-of-one or even make a collection offer to bid across the entire series. It really is an open door into the record. As we sit back and watch this massive cloud of 48 nations condense into the chain of the knockout rounds and finally lock into the clock of history, I want to leave you with this final thought. Art is the instrument. The pitch becomes the canvas. The collectible becomes the record. When the noise of the global soccer summer finally fades, how will you ensure that your own memory of the planetary stage survives the final whistle? Head over to OpenSea to explore the Sir.ai collection and claim your piece of the record. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.